Welcome to today's the Towman and Tazz podcast. Our panel today is Tazz, our super producer. What's up, Tazz?
What's good? What's good?
Also, the Towman, our number one towing beep, 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 beep. What's good, Towman?
What's happening? How everybody doing today?
And new to the show, but definitely won't be a stranger in the future, is Drick, the entertainer extraordinaire. What's up, Drick?
Peace. How y'all doing? What's going on?
Good, good. And today's host is the Matrix favorite flower. That's me, Chocolate Rose. And our topic today is going to be deception in relationships. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Deception in relationships. Before we get started, what I wanted to do was actually get in a definition of what deception actually means before we go any further. And based on Webster's dictionary, deception is, here, let me get this, because I want to make sure I use Merriam's definition, because if we're going to use a definition, let's go with a standard one. So deception is the act of causing someone to accept as true or valid what is false or invalid, or the act of deceiving. Let's talk about that. All right, so let's start with my first question today. What are some things that people are deceptive or dishonest about? Things like at the beginning of a relationship that people may leave out or omit. Let's see. Let's start with you, Drake. What's your input? Is there anything specifically that you can think of that stands out that's common that people deceive you about in relationships?
First of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks for being
you
here.
were going, but I touched on this. One of the biggest deceptions of meeting men and women is like he's like, you know nothing about the woman, you know nothing about the man. Just keeping it 100. The first attraction is a physical attraction. Know that out the gate. I know nothing about this woman. I just see a pretty face. I see a Coke bottle body. I see whatever, but something about her is bringing me to her. The way she smells, the way her eyes look. She got a nice shape, and that's the first biggest deception. Know that the first attraction is physical. It's not mental. I don't know you're mental. I don't know nothing about you. So I think if a lot of people would understand, I like the way you looking, is a physical attraction first. And that's my, first take on that.
Well, thank you. I totally agree. And just to piggyback on that a little bit, and I just like you to touch on this since you brought it up. Now, with that first attraction, that physical attraction, coming from a female point of view, I really can't speak with males because I'm not sure what males do deceptive as far as their appearance. But if you're going on physical attraction, I know I'm very deceptive with that. My hair is fake. My eyeglasses aren't real. My lips aren't pink. And one day my hair is blonde, the next day my hair is black. So, I'm only saying that to say, this original attraction you have, that attraction actually may be based on a form of deception, amongst other things. That's just the top layer. My fake hair, my fake eyes, my fake teeth. But we could go on with that. You want to touch on that real quick before I go to the next
right,
person?
Exactly. But when you think about it, can y'all see me? Can you see me?
I can see you and hear you just fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, think about the the gorillas. They do to get the woman, and the what do you call them? The peacocks. They spread look at me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the same thing, but I got you. I feel you. It's kind of like something that accents us. It accents us, but it attracts us at the same time.
Okay, I like that.
That's
It's
not
an
your natural
accent.
smell. Yeah.
Okay, so that's more
accents,
of an
that's not your
accent versus a deception.
Right.
Okay.
Your
like
representative, if you will. Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Because I don't naturally smell Dolce and Gabbana. I don't naturally smell like Dolce and Gabbana, but it smells good to a woman, so it helps.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I like to smell good.
Right.
So,
right. I definitely agree with that.
Right.
That was a great way to look at it, because in my opinion, there are a lot of people that touch on that, and they go with the whole women are fake, deception, and there's levels to it. But I think that I agree with you in the sense that it's an accent. Now, if I am, getting things maybe permanent that would deceive you to think I look one way when really I don't, obviously I can take this hair off. So yeah, I agree with you. That's an accent. Tazz, do you have any comments about the original question, or even maybe how we're kind of piggybacking? My original question is, what are some things that people are dishonest about, or specifically leave out at the start of a relationship, or admit for whatever reason? How would you like to touch on that today?
Well, my take on that from things that I've seen or been through. A lot of people deceive about their past status. Whether they still in or hanging on to an old relationship, and then they coming into something new. Employment history. Yeah, they'll say they do this when they really don't, just to try to get an impression going on. They have this materialistic item and they don't, to make themselves like the peacock effect, and they just make themselves look more or seem like they have more than what they really have. So they like to lie about it to impress the opposite sex, to just basically make themselves look better. We all know what women do with the, like you guys said, with eyelashes, hair and stuff like that, and then guys do things to make themselves peacock per se. But yeah, that's basically what I've seen or what I've heard. So those are the things that that could be deceptive things that people do.
Tazz, I really liked your comment. The materialistic lies. That's typical, and I think that's common. I think all of us, tend to going back to what Drick was saying, want to look more appealing. So instead of saying that we're a bank teller, we say we're an accountant, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But another thing that you pointed out that's not as easy to overcome is that emotional baggage. When people are deceptive about really where they are emotionally with a past relationship, while trying to, start or begin or even, pursue a relationship with another person. I think that is a topic or a discussion that's a hard one, because I think a lot of times people don't even understand that they're carrying that emotional baggage. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I agree with that. You know, that, I mean, it depends on the person, on how they feel about what kind of emotional baggage and what level they have. Remember, when you're acquiring a new relationship or attempting to getting to know somebody, any kind of baggage that they have, you're either willing to accept it or you're not. But if there's deception with that, you never, and then you find out later, it's like, what the hell? It just throws everything off. So yeah.
I get it. So it's one thing, to maybe not understand emotionally how you're attached or completely detached, but it's another thing to deceive someone in a new relationship about a past relationship. And let's say you're actually still in contact with that person. You still say good morning, you still seeing the text, how you doing? That's deception, as opposed to, just working through your emotions. Is that kind of where you're going with that?
Yeah.
All right. I definitely agree. Thanks for your feedback. Hey, Towman, I know that you're on the job, but I'm really curious to get your feedback. Is now a good time for you to chime in? Let's give him a sec to see if he can chime in. All right. Well,
You're
the
on
Towman.
mute, brother.
All right, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
No. Did you need me to repeat the question? Because we didn't hear you. So if you started answering, please, if you don't mind repeating, we'd love to hear your feedback.
Okay. What did you ask me?
So the original question,
I was talking to my member on the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm listening to you. The original
Okay.
question is.
So the original question was, what are some things that people are dishonest about, or leave out or omit, I should say, at the start of relationships? And between Drick and Taz, we've kind of touched on emotional baggage. We kind of touched on appeal. Is it really, extra sex appeal, or are we being deceptive with the BBLs and the, extra tits, that type of thing? So we kind of touched on those. You have any feedback in any way about deception in relationships regarding the first question?
I mean, if it make you look bad, they ain't gonna tell you. They ain't gonna tell you that they got fucked up credit, that they can't drive, that they owe money on tickets, they need you to help pay a bill. They ain't gonna tell you shit. They ain't gonna, they'll come out the house looking like $1 million, bitch, broke.
Wow.
Can't even buy a damn $5 drink.
Now let me ask you something. You said something interesting. You said they not gonna tell you shit, but they come out looking like $1 million. So with that
Yes,
being
ma'am.
said, they didn't tell you shit. So did they really deceive you?
Yeah, that's deceiving. Look, it's like this. If your ass is broke, I mean, seriously, if you can't afford to do shit, you always want to go somewhere, but you ain't never got no money. But yet you got on fucking Gucci, Chanel, Prada, all this shit, all this name brand shit, but you can't even buy a meal. You looking for the man to buy a meal. Damn. It's called dating, not I'm taking care of you off rip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely
To me,
understand.
if when you finna date somebody, I ain't taking your ass nowhere. You want to know where we gonna go? To the fucking park. Let's sit and talk. No,
Yes.
seriously. No,
I get
seriously.
it.
Let's see. Let me get to know you. Let me see what your conversation like. So that way I know if I even want to fuck with you or not. And you know, I'm gonna bring party favorites, you know, because that's what I do. You know, and naturally, the woman is gonna come in.
Hey, Chris, sounds like we're having a little bit of audio trouble.
Your contacts in, huh?
We were having a
You
little
having
bit of
audio?
audio trouble. I missed that juicy part right there. Would you mind just repeating about the last 2, 3, 4 seconds of what you said?
That they can't buy nothing. They,
Right. Yeah, you can start right there. That'd be perfect.
yeah, shit. You go out, you with a woman, and she look at you and she say, I'm hungry. And you say, okay, baby, I'm hungry too. You gonna buy us lunch? And she'll look at you and be like, I was hoping you were gonna buy me lunch. Really? Really? So I gotta automatically buy you something. Why can't you buy me something? You got on all this high dollar shit. You dress like you got money, but you broke. You ain't got no credit card. You ain't got a bank card. Where your Discover card at? Something. I mean, for real, something. You got to show something.
I understand. Now let me ask you something.
And the bad thing about that, I'm listening.
I was gonna say, with that approach, it would sound like you probably are deceived less than others because you can nip it in the bud right away. You didn't dish out the $80 plate, so I got to continue this facade. You're gonna talk to me long enough for me to, let the cat out the bag, kind of, so to say, let the cat out the bag, hang myself, or perhaps earn my $80 plate. And I say earn, I say that loosely. But I get what you're saying. I definitely do. And I appreciate those comments. Any other feedback regarding that before I go on to the next question?
No. I mean, but it do be crazy though when you meet a person like that, because most of the time, if the conversation gonna tell you a lot about the person within the first like 5 minutes. And it goes off of how they're talking. I listen to what you're saying, and every time you talking, if you doing this shit here, damn, bitch, who the fuck is How come every time you say something, you saying I gotta you need to get you a fucking vocabulary. It's what you need to get, and you're gonna get out my face, and I'm gonna be Casper on your ass after the day.
Ghost.
And I don't give a fuck what you look like.
So with that being said, it sounds like intelligence far more trumps looks. Therefore, the appeal is not what captures you. Would that be safe to say?
No. Cause you gotta look accordingly too now to even make me step to you and talk.
Okay.
I ain't just finna go off your conversation and you look like goddamn or shit. You look like something that belongs on a poison bottle.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Poison bottle, damn.
You know it belongs on the poison bottle, right? Skull and crossbones.
We got Mr. KG in here, Chocolate Rose, just to let you know.
Oh wow, KG, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. How you feeling today?
Ask him one more time.
All right, KG. Glad you're here today. Sure. I'm hosting today. Chocolate Rose, how you doing?
Still trying to connect this audio.
That's all right. Once he's in, just tell him.
There it is.
Let us know. All right, KG. Welcome. I'm gonna go ahead to question number 2, regarding deception in relationships. Now, once you're deceived,
you muted KG. You gotta unmute it.
I'm sorry?
I'm talking to KG. There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
That's okay. Now, question number 2, regarding the deception in the relationships. Once the deception comes to light, how do you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth? What do you do? So, with that being said, KG, again, I want to welcome you, but before I include you, did you hear our question? Would you like to be the first one to answer regarding deception in the relationships to kind of get us started with question number 2?
Yeah, go ahead and the question is deception in the relationship.
Yeah, so deception in the relationship is our topic. Question number 2 is gonna be, once the dishonesty has come to light, once you discover that you've been deceived, how do you handle that? Can you handle that? And what do you do? What's your take on that, KG?
First off, the sin is probably the strongest you can have in your relationship that will cause it to crumble. So with that being said, if you find you've been deceived, whether it's family or wife, husband, girlfriend, whatever, friend, you kind of look at that person a little, and I can deal with you, but I don't want you. Once the trust is gone and from deceit, you just stuck in it. You're not trying to forward and figure out I trust this person again. If I to grow back into my trust, or am I just done with that person?
Definitely. I understand. I appreciate that feedback. So essentially, once the deception has come to light, now you have the hurdle of how you feel about that person now that the deception is in the air, and how you look at that person, because I assume, especially depending on specifically what the deception is,
Right.
that could definitely make you feel differently about the person. With that being said, Taz, would you like to touch on that?
Oh, absolutely. So to me, when the deception comes to light, first of all, it depends on who the fuck it is, okay, and who they are to you. Because you got your status of where it's family, then deception comes out, or you got somebody you just met, then deception comes out, or somebody you've been in love with for a while, and then deception comes out. So it all depends on who it is, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go through them scenarios. So if it's family, okay, I forgot about just like friend, whether it be the opposite sex or same sex too. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the scenarios and I'm gonna try to make it quick. If it's somebody that you in love with, then deception came up. It depends on how the deception. I'm sorry, what it was. Because there are some things that you can come back from, and there are some things that you can't come back from. With friends, same thing. The level of deception and what it was. Some things can be forgiven, some things can't. Somebody, okay, I said the person that you've been in love with, I said that already. A person you just met. So, some time go by and then deception come forth. I think it'll be a little bit easier to let them go, or act organically to the point where you either let them go or you stay with, stay talking to them. And the last one, I said family, I said love, and getting to know somebody. Well, basically, that's just what it is. It's different levels of acceptance on that, in my opinion.
Taz, just to touch on one of your comments, if you could just give me just one example of something that you could not, a deception you could not come back from.
A deception I couldn't come back from any of them scenarios, friend, lover, or whatever.
Yes.
I think one thing I couldn't it would be hard for me to come back from would be the deception of uh gender transformation. If it came out later that so that happened, that would be difficult for me to, accept. Um, you know, there's a lot of things that can accept, but that is kind of difficult.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Drake,
Hey.
did you need me to repeat question 2, or are you ready just to hop in?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to
All
hop in.
right. All right.
I
Give
live
me your feedback.
I live by this rule. I give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Mhm.
Let me say that one more time. I give you enough rope to hang yourself. If you deceive, what how do they put it? You give them you, and then what you see what you up against, you give them them. You act like them. And
I
not
love that.
not to be twisted, but I get kind of a little joy seeing them upset, seeing how they acted towards me.
Drake, not to cut you off, but I must say, and I'm speaking for
Yeah.
myself, I'm that petty. I'm that petty. And I typically in general, I try to do unto others as I want others to do unto me. I typically do live my life like that. However, once that piss off switch has been, flipped, I turn into another being and literally transform into the shithead you are. And I can do that real but yeah, I like that. I thought it was just me, but that must be that EC in
It's
us,
not. I mean, to me, I don't consider it petty. It's like if I didn't do that to you, why you do
What the
that to
fuck is
me?
going on?
If I didn't do, if I, all right, let's give an example. If I give an example, if I made you a steak and shrimp dinner out of the kindness of my heart, okay, and then I find out she can cook, and she says I need $40 for that, you'd be like,
Huh?
huh? You're charging me?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you say, oh, okay. So me being the person that I am, I'm like, all right, I'll give you the 40. But now I'm sleeping with the enemy. See, now I got to sleep like this. On the fact that you literally, I didn't ask for no money. I did it because I cared about you, because I liked you. I saw something in you. But now now you got to tax me. And it's like, oh, okay. So like I said, I show you. I get all my data that you've given me, and I show you. But then when you see it, you hate it, and you can't stand it, and now you hate me. You got a grudge with me for something you did to me. Still don't make sense, but hey, you know what I'm saying. But the one thing that I can say that's just would have me in my feelings this twisted as far as deceiving is let me see how can I put it. Uh um I would have to say I agree with Taz. If you were a guy and not telling me you was a guy, that, and also uh let me know if you have to deal with, like, if you have a child, let me know you have a child. See, then I know you have to deal with his or her father if you still deal with him. But see, then I'll know. You see that, because with a child, you have to have a bond with the father. That's just real fucking talk. And I know. See, all right, now I know you have a kid. So now that I know you have to deal with the kid's father. Okay, I got that. So if you don't tell me that, that That drives are pretty much aware. I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm sticking with the enemy. So, but that's my
Right.
take. That's my 2 cents.
Thanks for that feedback. That's a heck of a dynamic. Also, just to piggyback on one thing you said about how we both kind of agree with kind of flipping the script on the people. Drick, no one likes the taste of their own medicine, do they?
No, they don't.
Now,
Oh,
Towman,
that's right.
I purposely saved this question for you for last because I know you're a man of action. I know you are. So I say that to say, once the truth comes to light,
Mhm.
what do you do about it? How do you handle that? And I'm asking you, not in general. I want some Towman stuff right here.
Let me get my pen and pad out.
It really all depends on what it is. Okay. I mean, seriously. Like, if you done said some shit about me, some fucked up shit about me, and we together and you talking about me to my fucking friends and I find that fucking shit out. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna meet that other guy. The other guy that I didn't tell you about, even when I was telling you about myself. Everybody has a person inside of them that you really don't want a person to see. I don't want you to look at me like that. No, you're gonna look at me like that. I'm gonna be that asshole. I'm gonna be that jerk, that motherfucker, that son of a bitch, whatever the hell it is you want to say about me. I'm gonna make sure it comes true. I'm gonna make fucking sure. And especially if you're talking about me to my friends, saying, what if you do this? Oh, bitch, really? Okay, let me show you what's going to happen on them repercussions just off that fucking statement alone. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a problem. That's a problem. And there's no coming back from that because the trust is gone. The trust is gone. From Jump Street, your ass was on your own fucking agenda. From Jump Street. I don't even know if the shit you told me about yourself was motherfucking true. I mean, when I say trust is gone, every fucking thing you ever told me in my eyes now, you're a liar. And the shit you said was a lie. I don't trust you. I'm not going to be around you. And everything you say, I ain't believing. I ain't believing. I don't give a fuck if I was fucking head over heels in love with you. Head over heels in love with you. You talk about me and I'm doing for you. Man, fuck you. Cause that's what you said to me. That's exactly what you said to me.
Towman, I definitely have to agree with you with that zero tolerance as far as the trust. One thing my father said is no one tells one lie. So when you said, I don't know if anything you said is true about yourself. Nobody tells one lie because one lie begets another lie, begets another lie, begets another lie. And then you know what happens? People start believing their own bullshit, which brings me to our last and final question for this topic today, so we can focus on that a little bit before we come to our conclusion. I just said, one lie begets another, and I wonder sometimes, at least in my experience, do we start to believe our own bullshit? Are we actually even honest with ourselves? With that being said, have you ever found yourself maybe in a deceptive situation unknowingly, and then someone called you on it, and you were big enough to accept the fact that, hey man, not only am I not being honest with you, I'm not being honest with myself. Personally, I've had plenty of situations like that. Just one personal experience I would say would be with my alcoholism. I would say in many stages of that, I did not believe I had a problem. I knew I drank a lot, but I know a lot of people that drink a lot, but they didn't have a problem. They weren't getting DUIs, they weren't, causing problems in the household. I was. Therefore, my drinking was a problem. And even though I didn't acknowledge it, I saw the consequences of it. So I knew I just chose to live in deception and say, I don't have a problem. I can do what everyone else does. So with that being said, just my own personal experience, my question is, are sometimes we just not honest with ourselves, and as a result, it shows up as dishonesty in the relationship? And I'd like to go ahead and start with Drick with that question.
Okay. You want to be the best person you can be when you leave out your front door. Okay. You want to be a level higher than you was yesterday. So, with saying that, they say that confidence and cockiness are walk the same path. So, if you come off cocky to some people, I mean confident, you consider yourself confident, but to your peers, oh, that motherfucker think you all that. But if I don't feel that way, how am I gonna get my deals done? How am I going to get food on my table? How am I gonna feed my kids? You know, so I think you want to put yourself on a level that you know you can succeed and grow. Because you remember, we only got 24 hours in one day. So for me personally, not to toot my own horn, I had a problem with this. Like, I know I can do this, but I don't want to let motherfuckers think I'm full of myself. I had to come to grips like, yo, if you can do it, shine, homie, shine. And then at the end of the day, that's their problem. You know, so I think if you know you're capable of doing the act, if you know you're capable of making yourself shine, go ahead and do it. Do it. Don't second guess yourself. Cause at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna take care of you but you. So that's my personal feel on that. And that's it.
That's
My
facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Thank you so much for that feedback. I appreciate that. KG, you there with me?
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. So, do you have any personal experience where, maybe you weren't honest with yourself, or maybe you experienced someone that you had to mentor that wasn't honest with themselves and you were able to bring them back to life? You got any experience with that situation that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I was a little alky long time ago. What was
Oh,
that about?
we share that. We share that.
Yeah, and I got a DUI, and that just basically said to me, "Hey man, you got a problem. You either finna kill yourself or kill somebody. There's too many people who love you that want you here. So take care of your little problem, whatever it is. However you got to fix it, however you need to mend it, you got to do it. Whatever it is, you got to come off your little high horse and accept that you got faults just like everybody else. So long as you honest with yourself, and that's kind of hard to be dishonest with yourself because it's yourself, but there are people who lie to themselves on a daily. But it's like Drake said, as long as you getting up trying to be the best person, you going out that door every day, then you got a chance.
I agree. There's that theory, and I'm sure, it's not just unique to people, that experience alcoholism, but that fake it till you make it. That's an interesting concept, because none of us want to be fake. But like Drick said, if you got the confidence to know you can do something and you just haven't done it yet, it's just a matter of executing it. So yeah, be confident in yourself. And I don't think that's deception. It's just a matter of time for it to come true. So hey, both of you guys, I like those comments and that feedback. Towman, what about you? Have you experienced any portion in your life where you weren't honest with yourself, which may have caused you to be unknowingly dishonest in a relationship?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I've had times like that where I'm lying to myself because this bitch is full of shit, and I know she full of shit, and I ain't telling her she full of shit because I got feelings for her and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
got
yeah,
you.
I done lied to myself a couple times. listen to a motherfucker talk and be like, this bitch is lying. She think I'm stupid, but I'm gonna go along with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I tow cars. This is what I do. And when I get out here and I get behind the wheel, I do me. I try and make as much fucking money as I can. And the key word of that shit is I. Because ain't nobody else in this fucking tow truck but me. Ain't nobody else getting these cars but me in this tow truck. And only I can worry about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what somebody else think. If they think I'm cocky, good. I don't hate on your pocket. You can't count mine. You know what I'm saying? You always, when you walk out your front door, if you going to work, school, or whatever the fuck it is you going to do, even if you hustle it, shit, you go out there and you be the best at it. You be the best at it, you get to the money. Because that's what it's about. It's about getting to that money. And I'm true to myself with that. I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm for real. I go behind another driver and shit. The motherfucker say he can't get it. I'm gonna go get it. And I ain't splitting nothing. All that's me. When you go to your job, most of the time when you go to your job is based on you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you playing fucking football or some shit, you a team player, big ass squad, all y'all motherfuckers doing the same shit, run the same plays. But when you go to work, that shit, that's on you. You supposed to shine. You want to look good. And you're not trying to impress nobody but yourself. Fuck.
Survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest.
I mean, you gotta look at it like this. Even married people have to get out and get a job, both of them, to survive. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And if you're by yourself, if you're living by yourself, you better get your ass up, get out there and get to the paper and be the best you can be so you can make the most you can make, so you can live comfortable.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be comfortable. Right. I don't want to live check to check or no shit like that. And that's me also being true to myself. That is my motivation.
Awesome.
That's my motivation.
And Towman, you said something I really could relate to. When you said that you have lied to yourself about others' deceptions because of how you felt about them. You was in love or felt, some kind of way. And that could be in a emotional relationship or even with a family member. You could have a family member on drugs and you telling yourself, no, I'm not giving them this $20 for that crack. They really gonna, go eat. They going to get the crack. Or, my husband, he ain't leaving out the fuck no broad. He really going to watch the basketball game. No, I know what he smelled like when he came back home. That don't smell like basketball. But, you lie to yourself and say, that smell like basketball, Mm-hmm. So I really get that. I could really relate to that. Thanks so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
Can I say something real quick?
Tazz, of course.
No, that was
This is Drake.
Oh, Drake. I'm sorry. Of course. Go ahead. Share with me.
Something was in my fault, Tazz.
No, you good. Don't worry about it, brother.
My other thing was reciprocation. Did I say that right?
Reciprocation. Yep. Yes, I like that word.
Like, for example, hey, how you doing? I'm Drake. I work for University of Case Western Reserve. What do you do? Oh, I can't really tell you where I work at.
You got no job.
FBI?
Snitch are us.
Like,
tax sales are us.
What'd you say?
That sounds like
you
some
ain't got no
shit.
job. No, motherfucker ain't got no job.
Shit.
That's how you say I'm. That's how you say I'm unemployed. I ain't got no job. I can't tell you where I work. I ain't got no job. You ain't got no job. Mm-hmm. That's what she hiding. That's what they hiding. They ain't got no damn job.
Is that what they call it now? I'm unfamiliar.
The Tommy.
I was just gonna say Tommy from Martin. You ain't got no job, man.
You doing the Tommy?
Not to toot any horns. Not to toot
But
any horns,
but
but
listen,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Drake.
but I was just gonna say now in the defense of that, see, this is where I went wrong with it. My emotion was in it because my sibling had a problem with her ex-husband coming to her job, causing chaos. So I see where it could have mentally fucked with me when she said, I can't tell you where I work at, you know? But at the same time, if we've been cool for so long and you still can't tell me, that's another red flag. You
Yeah.
know, so sometimes like Towman said, my emotion was in it. So I said, oh shit, my sister had a problem with her dude coming to her job starting shit. So I understand when she said I can't really tell you. You see.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the what you call the double-edged sword for me. But as my brothers on this podcast put it, she ain't got no job where she with somebody and she can't get it out there.
Right.
But yeah, just
Thank
being that if I'm doing for you and you can't do the same for me, that's definitely some red flags.
Reciprocation is something that I think is not in a lot of people's vocabulary, Drake. We're gonna start spreading that word.
Yeah.
Thank you for that feedback. I like that. I really like that.
Sorry about
Tazz,
that.
Tazz, you are gonna be the last one to answer our last question before we give our final thoughts. Is there any situation that you can think of in your life that you just weren't honest with yourself, and didn't realize it, and it may have led to dishonesty in a relationship?
Well, I'm not ashamed to say, like, others on the panel about, the addictions that they had, because I had a prescription addiction, which was very unfortunate. But and then it even got to the point where I had a strong belief in me that my body was faking pain in order for me to just keep on going with that addiction. And I'm sitting here telling myself, no matter how many times I would, take my little prescriptions and stuff like that, that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So I was just believing it, until, others around me was like, hey man, you going to town with your pill addiction and stuff like that, man, your pain pills and stuff. But it was very severe, and I was really trying to convince myself that I didn't have a problem till certain things started to happen. And I was believing, like you say, my own bullshit. And, I know other people chose to seek help, but I wanted to try to see if I can help myself first. It actually subsided a very big amount, but yes, again, I was starting to believe my own BS, like I didn't have a problem. I was lying to myself. I was deceiving myself. It hurted so bad, and I went through so much, but I was able to to overcome. So if that answers your question about, believing my own deception and lying to myself, yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, thanks, Taz, for sharing. One thing that you had mentioned, that I think a lot of people could relate to, especially when it comes to prescriptions, because that's I've been, because I've dealt in a lot of rehabs. I've always been mixed in with alcoholics like myself, which we go to the corner, we buy the liquor, we can go to the bars. But then it's a unique addiction with prescriptions.
Absolutely.
And although I am an addict, I have been prescribed many psychotic drugs due to prescribed mental illnesses. So with that being said, I could really relate to when you said that you would almost not fabricate the pain, but tell yourself that you were in pain, that maybe you really weren't feeling, so that you could use the meds, so that you could, experience that feeling, or or meet the addiction. Because although I do not actively say I was addicted to any of the narcotics I was prescribed, I would say that the feeling that those narcotics give you definitely encourage you not to do anything on your own to make yourself better. Where once I got off the narcotics, when I got those feelings or that intention, like, oh, my pain hurts, or I'm feeling sad, instead of me, taking a pill, you and I both know, based on our growth, we can go for a walk now. We can call a friend now. It's so many other things that you can do.
It's different things affect different people. Like, when you hear people, like when I hear people, me personally, and they say, oh, well, I had a drinking problem, or I have a drinking problem. That's not a problem for me, because so it's like I can't relate to that, but I can relate to their pain through what they display to me and tell me, but I cannot relate to that on a personal level, because I can take a drink and a drink and a drink and it doesn't affect me like that. On the other side of that coin, if you was to try my addiction, it might not hook you in like it does me. And then on the other part of that, there are ways, like you just said, to deal with them outside of feeding that addiction, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Actually, I want to thank everybody for sharing their thoughts, their personal experiences, their opinions. I think it was really great. What I'd like to do now is, based on everything we talked about, just try to come to a conclusion, give everyone an opportunity just to give their last little feedback on relationships, deception, and maybe even tips on being honest. I'd like to start off with Drake. Go ahead. Again, I want to thank you for participating today. Before you give your conclusion, I want to let you know you have an open invitation to the Tazz and Towman podcast. Myself, Chocolate Rose, is not always the host. We do have many other special hosts. Towman and Tazz did allow me to special guest host today, and I do want to thank them for that opportunity. With that being said, Drake, deception in the relationship. Your final thoughts, your conclusion?
Any kind of reflections that you might have going forward as far as dealing with deception from other people?
Yeah, if I meet a new woman, I'm gonna just call toe man. Man, wow. Good looking out though, man. Definitely. Just like I said, if you can look in the mirror at the end of the night and say, hey, I was honest, I let her know everything I could possibly know. I was myself, and if it don't work, it don't work. It's more women out there, so just keep it real with yourself. That's the most, important part. And I know there are some things you may be embarrassing to say, but with time it comes that, so with time it comes that. But it is good, to keep it a buck when you first meet her. That's my opinion. That's what I'm leaving with.
Great. Thank you so much for your feedback today. Hey, KG, in conclusion, deception in relationships. Tell me how you feel.
Don't do it. Just be honest, straight up. There's no reason to, if you love the person, or because love and business kind of go hand in hand. I might be in business with you, and if you doing something deceitful for the company, and when it comes to light, we both looking crazy. Like, hey man, you told me you took care of this, and now it's not. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem. So just be honest in whatever relationship you in, and like Drake said, you get up every day, you look in that mirror, make sure hey, I was the person I was trying to be. I was trying to be upstanding and helpful. Hey, that's all you can be.
Thank you,
That's
KG. Thank you, KG, as always, for joining us. Your feedback and your support is always appreciated. We definitely look forward to seeing you on the next show. Thank you so much for always being available and your feedback today. Now let's get to Taz. Can I have your final thought about deception in relationship, please?
Well, my final thought is, it's I look towards metaphors. Metaphors kind of relate to a lot of things in the world. Lies and deceit are like anything that expires, meat, milk, whatever. It once it starts to expire, it starts to fester, smell, and then it just gets out of control. So the longer you keep that lie and deceit, the more it starts to fester and get out of control. And then it's going to get to the point where it's just going to explode. And then once it comes to the surface, it hurts more. So, going forward, I guess just letting everything out on the table will prevent that fester and that smell and that explosion.
I like the way you put that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much again for allowing me to guest host, and thanks for giving us all the opportunity for this platform and being the digital producer and creator and guest host along with the Towman. And speaking of the Towman, again, I must be honest, I had to save you for last because I know that you were going to take us out with a bang. The Towman, one last final thought on deception in relationships before I conclude.
Well, deception in the relationship, it's there. It is there. One way or another, whether you want to see it, believe it, or whatnot. But shit, you ain't gonna never just get somebody that's just really 100 when you first meet them. Never. I don't give a fuck what they say. They lying. They fucking lying. For real. I ain't finna be 100 with you. When I first meet you, how many kids you got? Why? How many you got? I'm for real. Shit. Because first thing, person asked me, okay, like seriously, how many kids I got? I have 7 kids, 5 baby mamas. The first thing a motherfucking woman say? Oh shit, you must really been fucking. Or I know you got a lot of baby mama drama. No, I don't. All my kids are grown. I don't have to talk to them motherfuckers no more if I don't choose to. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing you say. So no, I'm not finna tell you how many kids I got. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to be aware of it, and be prepared to deal with it once you do find out that you are being deceived. Because when you love a person and you find out that they done deceived you, they done lied on you, talked about you, or did anything negative towards you and your character, that is a hurting ass feeling. You know what I'm saying? And to keep your shit together, you got to stay focused on something positive, because that shit there will make you go just nuts. I mean, for real, to make you want to do some bad shit to a person.
Yep.
Real talk. So you just have to be careful.
I agree. Well, my final thought is just to say we all have an opportunity to learn that honesty is what truly sets us free. And freedom is actually true happiness. Don't do anything that compromises your happiness. Well, the Matrix favorite Rose is going to sign off. Chocolate Rose, we're out for today. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank my guests for chiming in. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our podcast. And if you're interested in participating, see more clips, and he'd be happy to get you connected. You guys have a great day.
All right.
Thanks
now.
for participating. Bye, everyone.
All right now.
Have a great week.